Sorry. Welcome back again. I literally am not knowing what is going on with the internet today, right? So, what's crazy? I just watched this crazy movie about the internet and everything shutting down, child. Listen, we're going to keep this moving again. As Dr. Shamika was saying, thank you so much to this incredible panel. You guys did such a phenomenal job. Now, what we're getting ready to do is we have a special recording. And so, one of our other fellow authors, she was not able to make it live today. Dr. Shamika even talked about her because she is booked, busy, blessed, and banked out here in these streets. And so, I'm going to go ahead and play her incredible talk that she provided for you guys. So, without further ado, Dr. Iris.
Guys, my name is Dr. Iris Wright. I'm one of the authors in Women in Nursing. I am an author, speaker, and a serial entrepreneur. I want to say one of my challenges in being in entrepreneurship and nursing was, and as a home care agency, is accepting insurance into our company. I think that was one of my biggest challenges when we first opened our home care. It's a lot of information that people need to research before accepting insurances like Medicaid. And you got to be willing to, when you learn and what those challenges are, um, see if you're willing to go through those challenges and if it's worth it to you. To me, I ended up because Medicaid low pay, they took too long to pay. I decided to close my agency, reopen and restructure. I innovated my company, and now I don't take any insurance into my home care company. So for me, that Medicaid aspect was important because one, revenue needs to be coming in on a regular basis because you still have your staff and taxes and bills to pay. And then two, I feel though it brings down the quality of your home care agency. So that was one of my major challenges in my journey in entrepreneurship. Next, I am an innovative home care company. And what do innovation mean to me? What we do is we like to make sure that our clients are being taken care of before they decline. All right. So our agency focus more on before they decline, helping them stay active um, in that aspect. So we utilize technology to help us with that. So we have Bluetooth devices. We partner with a company, um, and we have electronic caregiver that we can use. So we are a virtual and hybrid model, which I absolutely love. We have added social skills to the platform as well. So we're creating a whole virtual world. And as we're growing into the technology and home care, our goals is to expand as we're getting our new technology built, to own all of our technology so it can do what I want it to do. But right now, we're utilizing a lot of collaboration to make sure that we are starting the process of innovating home care. So a little bit about innovating home care and what I do is I get to know our clients really, really well. So once I meet them, I find out lots of important things about them. And some of the important things about them is, do they need a care aide in their home? Do they want a care aide in their home? Some people do not want one and they don't need to have one. If they do not have or need, let me put it that way, if they don't need or want a care aide, we have electronic caregiver that we can program to do things that we need them to do so we can still keep an eye on them. We have Bluetooth devices that we put into the home to do remote patient monitoring, like their blood sugars, blood pressures, pulse ox, temperatures, and weight, and things of that nature. We also collaborate with a pharmacy as well. So our pharmacy is licensed in all 50 states. So we're able to make sure that their medication is being managed. So the pharmacy makes sure they prepackage all the medication for our clients. And not only just prepackage it, they deliver it to their door. They have it on the package if it's a daytime medicine, a nighttime medicine, what date it is, the name of the medication, but also if our clients happen to fall short on paying for their medication, we will still have their medication delivered to them. So our clients should never be without medication. We also partner with Mom's Meal. So if any of our clients would like Mom's Meal do have a special package for us. We partner with transportation companies as well. We partner with a lab. So our clients do not have to go and wait in a lab or wait to the doctor's office. They can actually get everything sent to us, and we can have the lab go out and draw their labs and send it to their doctors. So that's one way we have innovated and changed home care company, changed home care some. So our goal is now is we're monitoring and we're keeping track of the data on how our clients are growing. Have we made any changes? Because we have made changes. We have clients that came into us that were starting to decline, that we've reversed it, especially diabetes clients. So our goal is to hopefully go into partnering with hospitals to stop that patient readmissions from the hospitals. But right now, we are an innovative home care company, and we're growing, and we're working so hard to take our technology to the next level. So I want to say balancing act. How do you balance your career? And I'm going to talk about more of balancing the family life, because I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I do not work a job. So my business is all that I do, but balancing family when you're an entrepreneur can be a little difficult, because sometimes you have to make sacrifices, especially in the beginning. You have to make lots of sacrifices to make sure you're building a strong foundation in your business. So constantly communication. Making sure you know yourself and your family. So when you have important things to go to events, to make sure things are done in your company. For example, I own a home care company. If I'm going out of town or doing something, I make sure my staff's schedules are done, make sure staff knows what's going on. That I will be out of town with my family. If I have a time where I'm just doing something with my family, I make sure that a system is in place. So if my staff do need me, they're able to get a hold of someone. So it's very important, whatever the case is, when you're balancing your family in entrepreneurship, that you kind of set some things together so you can be able to have that family time. And have that time for yourself. So sometimes we are always going and moving, so we forget sometimes to even eat or to and to have that time for ourselves. A lot of times our bodies will tell us that, okay, it's time for you to rest. Okay. So please listen to your bodies as well. Make sure things are in order to where you can say, hey, I'm going to take the next 2 days off and I'm just going to sit home and rest. Okay. So that's very important to owning your own business. Again, I am so happy to be part of Women in Nursing book. The reason why this book is special, because it gives you insight of what we have to go through inside of entrepreneur in nursing. Also give you a new perspective on things that you can do outside of nursing. You can take nursing to the next level to work for yourself. For people who are working in careers, there's lots of things that can be done into nursing. So guys, I hope you enjoy the conference. I'm sorry I could not be there, but I am so happy to be part of this collaboration. Again, my name is Dr. Iris Wright. You can find me on social media, Dr. Iris Wright. My business page, Karen Hart's Telecare. My website, chtelecare.com. Feel free to give us a call if you need us. So thank you so much. Bye.
Hey there, healthcare professionals. Are you ready to learn how to manifest your success? I'm Kimyette Saunders, founder of Sabu Consulting, a nurse case management firm for workers' compensation, where we help injured employees transition from a feeling of helplessness to one of empowerment. And I'm also the founder of the Nurse Empowerment Academy, where we show nurses how to monetize their skills, get back their time, and create the freedom they desire. Now, I'm not just another life and business coach who happens to be an NLP practitioner. I'm a nurse at the forefront, pioneering the evolution of healthcare, where we're marrying the traditional medicine and alternative medicine for a more integrative and holistic approach. And I found the common denominator where we're not only going to elevate your health, but also your life and manifest things right now. So visit the Nurse Empowerment Academy and let's manifest your dreams together. Now, don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to quantum leap and manifest your dreams now. So I'll see you soon.
All right, guys, it hasn't this been incredible? Thank you guys so much for just pulling through with all of this. And for those of you guys who want to be able to get the full replay of everything, you also are interested in being able to connect with any one of our nurses, you want to go to winwomeninnursing.com. Go ahead and register, which also enters you for our next raffle giveaway. So we're going to be doing another raffle. We have a couple of items that we're going to be giving away that you do not want to miss out. And the best thing, it's free. All you got to do is register by going to Win Women in Nursing. Okay. So Win Women in Nursing, make sure you go plug into there. Other than that, guys, we're getting ready for another one of our amazing keynoters. Okay. So I just want to make sure that she is ready to go rock and roll. Put a thumbs up if you're ready to rock and roll. This one. Okay, perfect. So we're going to, hold on one second. I just want to make sure we got her in the frame. We're going to bring up Dr. Shamika real quick as well so she can introduce our next person. But I just want to make sure everybody is still in the frame because, of course, we lost the connection. But yes, we are good to go. And so another one of our amazing keynotes. By the way, I don't really know all that she has coming up, but I know y'all heard her say that she has another one of these coming out. So if you are a nurse, if you know someone who is a nurse, someone thinking about this industry, or even maybe they're a nurse wanting to transition into entrepreneurship, whatever it may be, make sure go to Win Women in Nursing, register so that you can be able to learn more about how you can be a part of the second edition. All right, so let's bring on Dr. Shamika Livingston so that she can go ahead and introduce our next panelist. We're going to give her a round of applause. Yes.
All right, so our next keynote is going to be Kim Yet. She was in panel 2, and she has a lot to offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shamika. It's my honor to be here, and thank you for the opportunity to be a part of your anthology. And I want to thank everybody else here who's taken time out of their busy schedule to spend it with us today. So my name is Kim Yet. And I've been a nurse, like I said earlier, for 30 years, and I've worked in so many different areas of nursing that's given me this overarching view of this landscape we call life, right? So in my Nurse Empowerment Academy, I help conscious focused nurses monetize their skills, get back their time, and create the freedom that they desire. And there are 3 things that people desire most, and that's health, wealth, and relationships. So today I'm going to spend a little time with you and show you how to improve your health, create the wealth that you desire, and improve your relationships in the process. So are you with me? Everybody ready? Okay. So I'm going to show you how to get off that hamster wheel, how to heal yourself, and how to manifest the reality that you want. So do I have permission to share this with you? First, I want to share a little bit about myself. And I'm not going to go into a sob story about how I may have been mistreated or any possible horrific things that could have happened, because I'm no different than you. And we all have a story worth sharing that took us from there to where we are right now. And I want to share with you the end result. So my mindset was from a place of lack. I grew up believing that I wasn't worthy. I had the failed relationships. I wasn't born with the silver spoon in my mouth. I used to live paycheck to paycheck, and I've watched family members die unnecessarily. I was even one of the ones that didn't believe that traveling was something that we do. And I'm talking about international travel. And I had that low self-esteem. But all that changed when I decided to put me first. When I decided to shift my mindset, believe in me, do the work, and invest in myself. I took ownership and accountability for me. And most of all, I learned how to love me. I mean, really love all of me. So, who's with me so that we can get on this journey here? Now, throughout my process, I started 2 companies. I'm a co author of Women in Nursing Anthology. I wrote another book called The Empowered Healer. I became an NLP practitioner, a certified life and business coach. And like I said earlier, I'm back in school working on my doctorate and PhD in integrative medicine. So that's the journey that I've been on. So, who here believes in the power of healing? If you could put a 1 in the comments, let me know who believes in healing. And what about the power of manifestation? Who here believes that you can manifest your realities? Put a 2 if you believe that. Now, what if I told you that you hold the power to do both? That's right, you do. You can do both. And that's what brings us to the topic of today, which is empowered healing. And in this talk, I'm going to deliver to you how you can be on your very own journey of healing and empowerment, manifesting your desires in 5 steps. You'll think about how you'll prepare for your transformation and set the tone for your desired reality. You'll set intentions and be very clear on what it is that you want and where you want to go. You'll hear firsthand when you marinate on your thoughts and your visions, it will help to bring them to life. And you'll have the insight to see the light at the end of the tunnel, where it all makes sense. And then you experience the knowing that it's yours for the taking. And when you combine all of this together and take inspired action, you will manifest your reality. There's a famous quote that I go by from Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it sums everything up for me. He says, your personality dictates your personal reality. And I'm going to repeat that. He says, your personality, who you are, dictates your personal reality. And I'll go explain that a little bit as we go. So are you with me? Now, I have 2 stories to share with you. The first is a story of a patient, and we'll call him John, and he's given me permission to share his story. He was one of my workers' comp patients, and he had a severe back injury, could no longer work at his job. And by the time I got John, he had worked at several nurse case management companies and had several case managers, and he was deemed difficult, right? So there's so many others like John who felt defeated, who were angry at the world. But this story takes a turn, just like the journey that I was on in discovering the profound impact of quantum empowerment, which is inspired by the concept of quantum creativity that was created by Dr. Amit Goswami. Now, the second story is about me and how I went from a place of lack and reclusiveness to one of abundance and experienced my very own quantum leap. So are you with me? Now, I've been a fan of Deepak Chopra for some time. Everybody know who Deepak is, right? He's the one that married traditional medicine, quantum physics, and spirituality. So, I mean, I've bought all of his books and everything. And I said, this is somebody that I can learn from. And in following him, I saw that he was going to be in Dubai and speaking in 22. And now this was back in 21, early part of 21. And At that time, I said, I can't afford to go to Dubai. I had just quit my job. I was a new entrepreneur. And, you know, even though I was starting to believe that all I needed to do was ask and it's given, I still didn't have the confidence. But I started to believe that I had the capability of traveling outside of the country because, after all, I had just gone to Ghana a few months prior. Now, back in October of 21, I'm attending a virtual workshop and I see this man speaking. It wasn't uh, Deepak, his name was Vishen. And he was speaking my language. I mean, I was holding on to every single word this man was saying. And never in a million years at that time did I think that I was going to meet him in person. But during this whole process, I'm doing the work on me. I'm spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on coaches and mentors and taking courses, you name it. And I'm sure that there's a lot of you that's doing the same thing. Now, fast forward to January 22, I'm attending yet another virtual workshop. And guess who was speaking? Vishen. His name is Vishen Lakhiani, and he is the founder of Mindvalley. But this time, I had shifted my thoughts and my mindset and my words. And I didn't say, I wish I could, I'd like to, I want, I can't. Instead, I said, I'm going to meet this man. I didn't know how, I didn't know where. I just knew in the pit of my gut that it was going to happen. So I look up Mindvalley and I saw that I had already subscribed to this app. And I was like, oh, okay. Now fast forward another couple of months. And I happened to be scrolling through the app and I came across his famous AFES event that he holds once a year. Now he doesn't hold them anymore, but that particular time he was doing the AFES. And you had to apply to be accepted. And I'd spoken to a few other people who have tried for years to go to one of his events. And because you have to apply, some of them were denied. So I said, let me just go ahead and apply. It's not going to hurt anything. So I applied. And what do you know? I got accepted. Then there was the cost. It was a week-long event in Jordan at the Dead Sea, on the Dead Sea, right? And did I mention that was another dream of mine, to get to the Dead Sea? I mean, for years, I have Dead Sea salt shipped to me on a monthly basis because I take my baths in Dead Sea salt because of the healing properties. So I remember talking to a friend of mine, and I slipped up and I said, I can't afford to go. And she reminded me and she said, Kim, watch your words. So I took a moment and I said, you know what? I can't afford not to go. And it came down to the last minute. I bought those tickets. I booked my airfare and I was going to Jordan. And what do you know? The first night that I'm there, I met Vishen Lakhiani in the flesh. We took pictures, had a wonderful time, had private lunch with him. And this event was featured in Vibe magazine, and it was this week-long party filled with C-suites and millionaires. And while I'm there, I meet this young lady and leaned over to her and I said, I'd love for him to be my mentor. And I kid you not, within 1 hour, he made an offer to do just that. Me and this woman, we locked eyes, mouth wide open. And I said, am I really manifesting this right now in real time? Now, the price of this mentorship was a whopping 30 grand. I took a deep breath and I said to myself, I did not come this far to get scared. There's a reason that everything keeps aligning up. And I'm sure many of you have felt scared to do something that was out of your comfort zone. Raise your hands if that's you. Because see, when you do something like that, that's where the learning takes place. So I took the plunge. He was my mentor for a full year. And I learned so much about business, retreats, manifestation, you name it. I learned it. I immersed myself in his teachings to the point that I had stopped posting on social media. I stopped being that person that I was before. My whole life changed, but my businesses kept growing. I met amazing people from around the world. So my network now is very long and wide. All of this from investing in me. Now let's fast forward to November of 22. And I'm at one of his exclusive retreats for his mentees. And I wound up booking my flight a few days prior, which I usually don't do. And it was in Dubai. And I didn't know why. Something in my gut just said, book the flight a couple of days before. And I'm so glad that I listened to my intuition. Have any of you ever experienced that where you had this strong intuition and you just knew you had to follow it? Yeah. Well, being part of this exclusive group allowed me to have information about events that aren't well known. And one of those events was the Global Citizen Forum. So I call up the event organizer and I'm able to score tickets to this event, which happened to be a few days prior to the retreat. But guess who was there? Deepak, along with Vishen, but Deepak was there. So I got a chance to take pictures with him and really just listen and learn up underneath him. Because remember, a couple of years back, I was thinking that I couldn't afford to go to Dubai. And I had completely forgotten that he was going to be speaking. But see, that's when your subconscious takes over. So when you're open to receive, that's when things happen. So we've taken pictures. I sat and had dinner with Eve. Everyone knows who Eve is, the rapper Eve from Philly. She was there with her husband, Maximilian Cooper. The King of Dubai was there. Had a wonderful time, learned so much from both Vishen and Deepak. So you see, listening to your intuition really pays off. So I go on another exclusive retreat, and this was this past July in Turkey. And I had the opportunity to be coached by Bernard Hiller, who is a famous Hollywood coach. So I have literally been thrust through this quantum realm and leaped into a reality that I wanted. And I became the person by embodying that persona. So do you see how things come full circle? And my personal story reflects the power of quantum inspired creativity. And it actually gave rise to the Thrive Matrix methodology in my Nurse Empowerment Academy. Now, hold on, because I'm going to tell you how you can make this same quantum leap too. But first, let's get back to John. So when I meet John for the first time, he says, I'm not talking to you about my injury. And I could see that he was visibly upset. You know, his body language showed anger, but I saw fear. And I said, that's okay. We don't have to talk about your injury. And I sat and we talked about everything except the injury. I learned who he was underneath his projection to the outside world. I learned about his hobbies, his dreams, his aspirations, and we built this wonderful rapport with one another. And I began to see John's demeanor change. His shoulders were no longer hunched up, upward, and he was more relaxed. And I saw the gentle smile come across his face, and his walk changed. And I said, I hit on something special. And when we went into the doctor's office, one question among others that I asked the doctor is, when are you going to release the client? And the doctor says, it's going to be about a year. I said, okay. So we meet back at the doctor's office a couple of weeks later, and me and John had our usual conversation, and we go in the doctor's office, and the doctor says he's released. And I said, what do you mean? Last time you said it was going to be a year. And he says he wants to be released. I said, okay. So John and I are leaving the office, and he says, Miss Kim, can we talk for a minute? And I said, sure, what's up? And he says, I want to thank you. And I said, thank me for what? And he said, I want to thank you for giving me my manhood back. And I said, whoa, that's deep. And I said, how did I do that? Because see, that's something I want to repeat. That feeling that I got was worth more than anything else, to know that I had that type of an impact on somebody else. And he said, here I am, this 50-year-old Black man without a college education who lost his job because of a work injury. He said, I'm a laborer. Who's gonna hire me? And he said, what can I do? And he said, those were the questions that went through my mind on a daily basis. How am I going to care for my family? And he said, you didn't judge me. You listened. You gave me encouragement. You gave me hope and inspiration to pursue my dreams. And now that I know what I want to do, I need to move to the next chapter in my life. But in order to do that, I have to close that chapter. And he says, I'm going to open up my farm. You see, one of John's hobbies was gardening, and he was sitting on 5-6 acres of land. So I had realized that conventional approach of healing overlooks the patient's own power. And in my years as a nurse and through my experiences with patients like John, I discovered that the key to transformative healing lies within us, all of us. And this realization led me to develop the RISE method in my workers' comp case management company. And it's a methodology that empowers injured employees to actively participate in their recovery. It also led me to walk away from corporate nursing and start my own case management company, where I have the freedom to inspire other patients like John in a non-conventional way towards healing. And just like my personal story, it's a testament to the power of quantum-inspired creativity, revolutionizing healing and empowerment. So they say things happen twice. Once as a thought, and then it comes to fruition. So be careful of the thoughts and words that you tell yourself. And as a matter of fact, I want everybody to stand up. I want everyone to stand up for me because I want to show you the power that you have from a single thought. So when you stand up, I want you to hold your hands out, hold your arms out like this. And your eyes can be open, but I want you to turn comfortably to one side and just turn, don't hurt yourself or anything, just turn comfortably, stop when you feel a little resistance and see what's right in front of you without moving your head. Then I want you to turn your head to your shoulder and see what's in your view there. Okay? Then I want you to come back. And I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine, really imagine that your arms are out and you're doing that same thing, that same move. But this time, when the last time when you moved and then you turned your head to see what was in your view, this time imagine that when you turned the first time, you were already to that point. And really see yourself moving there. And when you have that thought in your mind and you envision yourself doing that, now I want you to keep your eyes closed and put your arms out. And now I want you to actually go through the motion with your eyes closed and turn around all the way until you feel a little resistance and then open your eyes. And I guarantee you that when you opened your eyes, it was at that point. That's the power of your thought. Without you practicing, without you doing anything, when you have a thought, you can bring to fruition what it is that you think about. So, there's that quote again. Your personality dictates your personal reality. And see, both mine and John's lives changed in an instant. So are you with me? Now, let's explore how the essence of quantum empowerment intertwines with the RISE method for my work company and the Thrive Matrix for nurses. And let's start with the first step, and that's awakening. That's when you take a leap and you prepare yourself for your new journey. It's about awakening to the possibilities beyond your current understandings and preparing yourself for a transformation. And you have to believe in a higher power to know that you're not doing this alone. So when we talk about holistic healing, the environment we create is as crucial as everything else. So imagine transforming a sterile clinical field of the medical environment into a sanctuary of healing, soft lighting, gentle sounds, soothing colors. You see, they aren't just aesthetics. That's the bridge to the deeper connection within ourselves. Have you noticed that when you go to a spa, the lights are dim, soft music, soothing, the soothing sounds, the aroma, all of that is to prepare yourself, to awaken your senses. It's to get you in that frame of mind for your next step. And when I decided to look within myself, do the work on myself, and put myself in the space of like-minded people and attend certain events, I was preparing myself for that transformation. And in my academy, we emphasize creating a space where nurses and healthcare professionals can flourish beyond the confines of traditional setting. And I did this for John. I gave him a safe space to express himself without any judgment. And even though we were in that cold doctor's office, his mind was relaxed and he was someplace else. He began to dream. So y'all feel me? You see where this is going? So the next step is intuition. And this is where the learning takes place. We see that our thoughts really do affect our reality. It's an intuitive phase where intention is set with the knowledge that our mind has a profound impact on life and health. And this is where you delve into that profound power of positive thinking and affirmations. It's about breaking free from societal constraints and embracing the potential for healing and growth. And this isn't just wishful thinking. It's a shift in your mindset. And when I decided in my mind that I was going to live for me unapologetically, my mindset shifted. When I decided in my mind that I was going to meet Deepak and Vishen, my mindset shifted. My self-talk changed. I started to walk in the persona of the person that I wanted to be. My circles changed. My behavior started to change. And at the Nurse Empowerment Academy, we empower nurses to believe in their potential and the possibility of achieving their dreams. Now with John, I enabled him to see the infinite positive possibilities that he already had within him. And I emphasize positive because he was stuck in the negative, and that negativity was delaying his healing. You see, there's a real thing called psychosomatic illness, and it has nothing to do with being a hypochondriac or making something up for gain. It's real. You ever notice how if you're anxious and you start experiencing physical ailments like your stomach is hurting, you're vomiting, diarrhea, you don't have a stomach bug. It's your thoughts. That's how powerful your thoughts are. So do you see what I'm talking about here? So the next step is evolution. And this is where we let go of what does not serve us and we reinvent ourselves. It's where our creative and healing thoughts kind of simmer. It's like an incubation or marination. And it's a reminder that sometimes the best ideas and solutions come when we allow our subconscious minds to take over. It's when we evolve beyond the past limitations and integrate new learnings and experiences. And when I stopped questioning why and how, the answers appeared. Everything started to align. When I faced fear in the face and took a step forward, that's when the new doors opened. And in our programs, we encourage nurses to explore new possibilities and approaches to their personal and professional challenges. And John took those couple of weeks and he continued to imagine the life that he wanted. He no longer had his thoughts consumed with doom and despair. He no longer sat and thought about, well, how am I going to provide for my family? Instead, he thought about the freedom that he was gaining. He thought about living for himself. And that's the shift in mindset. So you with me? And then we move to Revelation, where we have the aha moment or the insight. And that feeling of love for oneself is so strong that you decide to change. That's the breakthrough in our understandings. It's when things suddenly make sense and a path to healing and empowerment becomes clear and you're committed to change. It's a stage where the deep affection for the process meets the decisive moment of change where nothing else matters. And like I said, when I stopped fighting and accepted and really saw what was lying right ahead of me, it was full throttle ahead. People thought I was crazy, but they didn't have the vision that I have. And I wasn't about to let anything deter me from my visions. And in our workshops and courses, we guide nurses to breakthroughs that can redefine their careers and their lives. Now, John had that breakthrough. And when he went back to the doctors for his follow-up and was pain-free for the first time in years, he had a sense of accomplishment, determination, and motivation to start a new life. And he wasn't going to let anything get in his way. So who understands me? And finally, manifestation, where we allow and let in what is for us. We focus on intention. This is where change becomes real. It's about practicing new habits and perspectives consistently. You're so focused on your intentions to the point where you're transcending conventional perceptions of time and space. Talk about flow state, right? That's that quantum leap. And there's not a day that goes by that I'm not actively participating in my own development. Our academy is committed to not just imparting knowledge, but ensuring that it translates into tangible, transformative realities. And I spoke with John 6 months later and even a year later to follow up to see how he's doing. He's opened up that farm and he is doing great. Yeah. Now, the application of these principles isn't just theory. It's a lived reality. It mirrors the application of the RISE method and the Thrive matrix. And it's about putting into practice new paradigms of healing and transformation. And when I think about